Hello you guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda if you're new, and I am a freshman in college at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Today I thought I would bring you my tips for deciding what college to go to because I know that it is almost May 1st and that is decision deadline for a lot of you guys. I think that COVID may affect that slightly. You guys may be able to decide later. I'm not really sure, but at least for me, my decision deadline was May 1st. I'm going to share with you guys some things, like pro-con things you should weigh out between different schools. Number one might seem very obvious, but honestly, I think you need to think again and again and again about it, and that is, what program are you going into and which school has the strongest of that program? Because I know people who have actually just had their heart set on a certain college. Maybe it's because their parents went there, maybe it's because they have friends that are going there, and they go to that school only to discover that after they've completed their gen eds, that school either doesn't have that program or the program isn't good. So look at your colleges and see which one has the strongest faculty, and probably, honestly, I would look at the population of students. If it's super duper low, check, is that because it is a selective program, or is that because it's a bad program and no one wants to go there? Honestly, Google can be your friend here, so try and see where people are going for your program and see where your school is rated. Don't trust everything. Obviously, there's going to be bias there, but if your school isn't even listed as having that program on a lot of websites, then that might not mean the program is good and you need to do more research on it. Number two is make sure you're looking at the city that your school is in. That can be size of city. For me, it's size of city. I had two choices for schools, and one of them was in a much bigger city. It was in Indianapolis. The school that I'm at is in Bloomington, Indiana, which is actually slightly smaller than my hometown. And if it was possible, I would have gone to a school in a bigger city, but this program was honestly probably the best fit for me in the country, so I didn't really have a choice. But if you have the choice and you want to live in a bigger city, or maybe a smaller city, then look at the schools and decide slightly, obviously based off of all these things, but do take into consideration the size of city, because sometimes I feel like there are not as many things to do here as there would be in a bigger city. It's fine. I'm just here for part of my life, like a few years of my life, so I can get over it, but do think about that if you have a lot of options. Number three is look at the cost of your school options, but then also look at the scholarship opportunities and base it off of both of those things. Because I have friends who are deciding what college they're going to this year, and they said that this school here, Indiana University, is actually an option for them, and they know that the first year the school would be super expensive. However, in the next few years, they may be able to apply for scholarships here that aren't available at their other schools. So, look at the tuition for your first year, but then also look at second, third, fourth year scholarship opportunities that you may be able to apply for. And of course, that you are able to apply for. I know that there are specifications and requirements you have to meet. So for me, I pretty much know what school is going to be for the 4 years, but it really just depends on your program. So base it off of the tuition, but then also the scholarship opportunities for the future. Number four is important. I think you should base your college decision off of it in some percent, but definitely don't go all the way with this, and that is look at the friends and family in the area around your school, because I do wish that I had family around here, and if I had had the choice of a school that was near family, I may have chosen it. I personally didn't, but if you want to be near family, if you struggle with homesickness, this could really help you have a good college experience. So do look at if you have family in the area. That can totally be a pro. But then also look and see if you have friends that are going. Do not completely just go where your friends are going no matter what. But college is hard, and it could really be great to have friends going into the program that you're going into, or just going to the same school. So do look at friends and family in the area of the school. Number five is maybe obvious to some people. It may be the very first thing you notice, and that is look at the campus that you're on. I don't know if you can tell, but Indiana University is actually known for having a really nice campus. It's kind of funny because it's known for having a much more woodsy campus, which is honestly far from what I would look for in a campus, but it's actually pretty, and when I've had friends come to visit, they've been amazed at the buildings. They're like, this looks like Harry Potter World, and I mean, I hadn't really related it to Harry Potter World, but it's a little bit more focused on the outdoorsy aspect here, and I do enjoy it actually. When we walk around at night sometimes, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. I like how it's not as generic as some schools. So, do look at the campus, the layout of the campus, the architecture of the buildings, because you are going to be here for years, so you want to enjoy it. And if you go in like hating it and you don't think you're going to be able to get used to the style of campus, then maybe don't pick that school. Next, I think you guys should look at the size of the schools and really try and think about what size of school you want to go to, because I have friends who went into applying for colleges knowing, I don't want to go to a college with more than 5,000 kids, or I call them kids, it's literally college, students. But I knew that I wanted to go somewhere that was more than 5,000 ideally. I don't know why. I think it's just because I like the big city feel, so I assumed that I would like a lot of students. Honestly, to me, I don't think this would be a big deal. As long as it was like more than a couple thousand, I think I would be fine. My campus has somewhere between 30 and 40,000 students, I think. That might be a non-COVID year though. This year, there may be a lot less students on campus. Or maybe it's just that everyone sits in their dorms all day long. Honestly, I think that's it, but I can't really tell. If everyone were to leave their dorm rooms, I feel like there would actually look like there were people going to this school. I don't know. Anyways, look at the size of school. If you want to go and have a million options for clubs and organizations and things like that, then you should probably choose a bigger school. But if you feel like that would overwhelm you, then pick the smaller school. All right, next I think you should really look at the diversity of the students and the faculty at your different college choices. This is not something that I had a lot of options for because I was only choosing between two schools that are in the middle of Indiana. I cannot say that they are the most diverse places. Those were my two options though. If you have options, look and see who is going to be teaching you and make sure that they're of different backgrounds so that you can be learning about different things and different cultures. I think this is really important. No matter what program you're going into, you're going to have a more well-rounded experience if your faculty is diverse. Don't just look at the faculty though, look at the students. If you're going with students who all look exactly like you, you're not going to learn and grow as much as you would if you go with students who are diverse and from different backgrounds, from different countries, speak different languages. You're going to just have a much greater college experience. Number 8 is something that I think some people don't think about, and that is look at how far away your school is from home, and then look at how far away your school is from an airport. If you're far enough away from home that you're going to need to fly. So if you're further than, 5 hours, honestly, the amount is different for everyone. I have friends who live 10 hours away from Indiana, and they still drive almost every time. But I also know people who are like 5 hours away and they fly. So look at how far away your school options are from home and then how far away you are from an airport. Personally, I'm not in the best spot as far as an airport because it's about 45 minutes to an hour 15, depending on traffic, to get to the airport, and the shuttles only run so often. It's $20 to $30 each way. I have ended up having to Uber before between the airport and school, which is like 30, 40, 50 bucks because I couldn't catch a shuttle because they were all filled up. So do see if there's a school that's conveniently located closer to an airport. That might be better for you if you're planning to go home a couple times a year. Number 9 is not something that I really looked at because I know that I am probably not going to do grad school, But if grad school is something that you're thinking about, then you should definitely look at the grad programs at the different colleges and see which one has the best option for you. But then on the other hand, if you're planning to graduate in 3 years, try and see what schools would actually allow you to do that. Because I know people who their different school options, some would allow them to graduate soon and some wouldn't. Some would have to save for 4.5 years maybe. So weigh out the timing of things, what's important to you, in how long it's going to take you to graduate, and you can base some of your decision off of that. Lastly, I think this is my favorite one. Which school do you see yourself at for the next 3, 4, 5 years? Growing the most. Don't forget about that last part, growing the most. Because I think there's a lot of people who think this school is my happy place. I need to go to this school. I could live at this school for the rest of my life. Now, that is not a bad thing. I think that can be good. It can help you be content. But I have learned this year, hello car, that contentment is not everything. It's also about growing and pushing yourself, and change is hard, but go to a school where contentment is not necessarily the priority. The priority is growth as a person and in your education. So consider that when you're looking at different options. Don't just choose what makes you content. Try and choose where you think you can grow the most. All right, you guys, those are my 10 tips for deciding what college you go to. Please comment down below what your different options are. If you can't decide, maybe someone can help you a little bit. I don't know. I can't say that I know a ton about different colleges, obviously, because I had a very small pool that I was applying for. It was 2. Yeah, don't get confused by this shirt. I did not apply for this school, nor would I ever get into this school, but I love to wear this and be like, oh yeah, I had to turn them down to come here, which is a lie, and people, they get that because, I mean, I don't think that they're particularly known for their ballet program, which is what the program that I'm in. I don't know, I could be wrong, but don't get confused by the sweatshirt. I do not go to this school. Anyways, that's beside the point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be posting a lot more college content coming up. And good luck with finals. That's coming up. If you need a little encouragement, I will be giving you guys some encouragement as I go through finals week 2. So I will miss you guys until I see you next time. Bye!